Okay, I need to talk about something serious today. Let me get out of here before I get struck by lightning, even though that doesn't matter because I have the Thunder Helm on. I need to make it daytime first. So, let me talk about something real quick today. I'm going to talk about two different stories, and then I'll get to my point at the very end. So, this first thing happened yesterday morning. So, yesterday morning, my disappointment was immeasurable, and my day was ruined. I really can't believe some people out there. Alright, so yesterday morning what happened was I had a customer, a returning customer, and I'm not gonna say what he purchased because that's stupid client confidentiality, but fine. So I'm not gonna say exactly what he wanted to purchase, but what he wanted was $70. Alright, $70. And he asked me, can he pay by credit card? And I said, cash and debit preferred. I'll get to all the details at the very end. Just hear out the story first. Right? So he asked if he can pay by credit card, and I said, cash and debit preferred. So he went, okay, I'll pay by debit card. Not even 2 minutes later, when I grabbed the card machine, I also asked him, did you want to pay the full amount today? Leave a deposit, and then pay the rest when you pick up? He said that he'll pay half of it right now, and then he'll pay the other half when he picks up. And I'm just thinking, alright, $70, I feel like... Because he said, I'm going to pay half of it right now because I'm going to do more shopping. And I'm just thinking, $70? You can't pay the full amount? $70? But you know what? Fine. I have people leave like $20 deposits. Fine, whatever. So, I put $35 into the card machine. I hand it over to him, and he taps. He instinctively uses his credit card because he had it on his phone. And, well, he already paid for it, so then what I said was like, you know what? Whatever. Fine. You already paid for it. Whatever. But then, you know, because I'm a little frustrated, I asked him, he asked me, can he use his credit card? And I told him cash or debit, and then he agreed to pay debit. He agreed. Not even 2 minutes later, when I gave him the card machine to pay, he pulls out his credit card, and then... You know, I'm a little frustrated because we already agreed. He agreed to pay with his debit card. And then he just instinctively pulls out his credit card, pays, and I'm just like, you know what? Fine, whatever. You already paid? Fine. I could have made it a big deal. Like, sir, we agreed debit card. I'm going to refund this to you, and then you're going to pay me with a debit card. I didn't do that. I just said, fine. It's fine. Whatever. But then he started blaming me. He started getting mad at me. He said things like, this is your fault. Had you set the card machine to debit, it would not have taken my credit payment. So, to him, if I set the card machine to if I set it to debit card, then it would not have accepted his credit card payment if he tried to tap or inserted it. And I just told him, there's no settings for that. There's no setting. I put in the amount in the card machine, and then you decide what you pay with. There's no settings for that. And then he tried to blame me again. And then he went like, well, you should have reminded me to use my debit card. It's like not even 2 minutes has passed. At this point, I was fed up with this guy, because he was just like... It's not just the whole debacle between using cards. He also was asking, like... What he was purchasing, he was also asking, can he also get samples? So I told him, sure, I can order you 1 pair of samples. He's just like, just 1? I can't get 2? And I'm just like, sir, I order, they provide me 1 pair of samples for you. You know, I can't ask for like 1,000 samples because at that point it's just free product, right? They can give one pair of samples out. What am I doing? So I was fed up with this guy at this point. You know, just begging for free stuff. I don't want to go that far, okay? So he was saying like, he asked for a sample and I told him I can order him a sample along with what he wants, and then he's just like, I can't get two? I can't get two free samples? Just one? So I had to explain to him, I can only provide how many they allow. And then the whole debacle with the credit card thing. So let me explain why that's such a big deal. It's not really that big a deal, but to me it is. Ugh, stupid ads. So, you guys should be aware, I hope, that a lot of businesses, they prefer you don't use credit cards, and especially American Express. A lot of businesses, they prefer either cash, of course, but nobody carries cash anymore these days. Believe me, I'll get into that. They prefer cash or debit card. Because every time you use the card machine, every transaction, there is a transaction fee. And the transaction fee is less when a debit card is used compared to a credit card. So that's why a lot of businesses, they rather people do not use their credit card. And, well, that's the same for us. Whenever we take payments by card... Oh, I forgot to make a day. Whenever we take payments by card, we prefer cash or debit, just to reduce the amount of transaction fees that we have to pay. Now, it's not a lot. It's not a huge difference, you know? But it adds up, and we try to maximize profits. You know what I mean? It's just business. And especially when it's a small family-run business like this, every little bit counts, especially these days. You know what I mean? So, whenever someone asks me how they can pay, like if they can pay with their credit card, I say, do you have debit instead? Cash and debit preferred. So for this guy to agree to use his debit card and then instinctively whip out the credit card on his phone, tap it, and then start blaming me like it was my fault that he paid and the transaction went through. So let me explain this part. The fact that he had his credit card on his phone, you guys know that a lot of people have their cards on their phones now. They use their phone to tap during payments. I don't do that bullshit. I don't do none of that. Man, so he instinctively has his credit card on his phone. He just instinctively pulls out his phone, uses his credit card. It's like, oops! I agreed to use my debit, didn't I? Oh well. I'll get into why I feel like that's such a big deal in a moment. But first, that happened. It may not sound like that big a deal, but, you know, wait till you're in my position, huh? If you don't think that's that big a deal, if you don't get frustrated by that, then you just haven't worked retail before. You just haven't worked customer service before. Like when a business asks you for how the payment method. And you know what? I get it. I use a credit card too. I prefer to use credit card too. But if a business doesn't accept it, if they prefer a different method, then I just do what they're asking for. I don't argue with them, but I don't argue with them and be like, but credit card. But I used my credit card here last time. I don't argue with them. And I especially don't throw a fit if I can't use my credit card, because it's not that big a deal. Before I get into explaining why all of this pisses me off. So, you guys understand, right? This guy, he agreed to use his debit card, instinctively whips out his credit card, pays for it, and then blames me. And to make things worse, sometimes, occasionally, if people insist on using the credit card, we say we take the full payment just to reduce the amount of transaction fees. Because if they do 2 different transactions, if they leave a deposit and pay the remaining when they pick up instead of paying everything up front, well, that's 2 different transactions with the card machine. That's 2 different transaction fees. So, sometimes, if a person really insists on using their credit card, we take the full payment. But not this time. Now that this guy, he simply left a deposit. He paid half the amount and will pay the other half when he comes for pickup. Well, that's now 2 different transactions that he's going to do. Because you know damn well he's not going to come back with cash. You know, I told my sister this, since I have to hear her nag about stuff that ruins her day as well. And she basically said the same thing. Not exactly the same thing, but like almost something similar that happened. So, same thing. With the customer, she said, I don't take American Express, and then the customer instinctively whips out the American Express. You know the American Express is like a $5 transaction fee? While that's not a huge amount, it still adds up, right? You try to save as much as you can, especially these days. And same thing, just left a deposit. My sister told me she left a $20 deposit, used American Express, so that's like $5 gone right there, just due to the transaction. So in reality, we only took in $15. Okay, let me get into the second story before I really dive deep on why all this stuff pisses me off. Okay, where is this next Stalinox at? Oh, it's down here. It's around this big area. Let's go make it daytime first before I forget. So this story happened a couple days ago. So this, once again, was early in the morning, and I wasn't as infuriated by this. There was actually nothing to piss me off about this one. So, a couple days ago, just before work, I went to buy food for the family. I went to buy breakfast, and I went to buy food for the family. I went to a little, like, bread shop, this little, like, bakery shop, and I bought some sandwiches, some bread, right? I bought food. Little buns, other things. Just like baked goods. So I was lining up. Getting ready to pay. They literally have a sign right in front that says something like $15 or less. You have to use cash or debit. If it's over $15, then you may use your credit card. And hey, they laid out the rules right there. My total was $21, so I was all set to use my credit card to pay. Right? I followed the rules. They told me. I'm not about to argue. However, at that particular moment, the card machine of theirs stopped working. It just stopped working. So, I wasn't able to pay. The girl at the cash register, she asked me, do you have cash instead? And just so happened I do. So I paid with cash and then I just went on my way. So what's the point of this story? Well, let me explain. So I have a bunch of friends who do not carry cash with them. In fact, they are hard credit card only. They don't even use their debit cards because, you know, they need that credit that they get from using credit cards. So, I keep telling them, I keep telling everyone, have a bit of cash on you just in case. Just in case. Just carry a little bit of cash on you just in case. For emergencies. And everyone always hits me with the, oh, it's inconvenient. Oh, I don't want to lug around cash. Oh, cards are so convenient. You bunch of lazy fucks. So, let's think about this for a moment. Had I not had cash on me that day, I would not have been able to purchase my food. Their card machine wasn't working. Regardless of credit card or debit card, I would not have been able to purchase it anyways. I would have had to either waste who knows how much time standing there waiting for them to fix their card machine, or I had to leave, not purchase my food, and go. Either come back another time, or go somewhere else to purchase. Had I not had cash on me, I would not have been able to purchase and just went about my day. I can't stand the argument my friends, and I'm sure a lot of other people will bring up. The fact that, well, if this place doesn't take my payment method, my credit card, I'll go somewhere else. I'll go somewhere else that will take my payment method. And to that I say, isn't that more inconvenient? You don't want the inconvenience, oh crap. You don't want the inconvenience to carry cash with you. But it's not inconvenient for you to leave where you've already gone to, go somewhere else just to pay with a particular method instead? Isn't that more inconvenient? Like, I already made the trip. I already went out of my way to go to this particular place to get exactly what I had in mind to purchase. I'm not leaving until I get it. If I came to this particular bakery to get their product, I am not going somewhere else just so that I could use my credit card to pay. I am not driving somewhere else. I came here for these products. I am not leaving until I get my products from this place. You know what I mean? Isn't it more inconvenient for me to say, alright, this place isn't taking my credit card? Fine, I'll drive somewhere else to a different business with the same product that will take my credit card. It's kind of like, here's a hypothetical example. It's kind of like saying, oh, Costco doesn't take my credit card. I'm going to drive all the way to Walmart and get the exact same products because they do take my credit card. Isn't that more inconvenient? Alright, that's 9 Stalnoxes. The last one is inside Hyrule Castle. Anyway, so moral of the story is I paid with cash and I was able to go. So my friends and I argued back and forth about this. My friends bring up the argument, they don't want to carry cash. It's so inconvenient. Why carry cash when you could just use your card, tap, and done? And then I told them, you carry cash with you in case exactly this happens. What if the card machine doesn't work and you're not able to pay? They actually hit me with a, well, then I just won't purchase from them. I just won't do business with them there. It's like, isn't it more out of the way for you to go somewhere else? Instead of just, oh, the inconvenience of carrying a $20 bill with you. You now have to drive somewhere else entirely. And don't even hit me with the argument of, but I'm afraid to lose it. You know, I'm afraid I'll get robbed because I have so much change on me. I'll have so much cash on me. And to that, I always say the same thing. No one is telling you to carry a large amount. No one is telling you to carry $1,000 cash on you. Just a $20 bill. A 50. Just a little bit of something, just in case. That's it! No one's telling you to carry an entire ATM supply in your pocket. Just a little bit. $20, $50, hell, $10. Just something, in case. But no, everyone these days are such lazy little shits. Everyone these days are obsessed with credit cards, and that's what I hate. I hate what credit cards have done to people. Because it's all about the obsession with credit cards these days. Because they gotta always use the credit card to build up that sweet, sweet credit that they build. That they get from using the damn card. Credit card users act like it's life or death if they get to use it or not. If it's do or die if they get to use their credit card or not. It's like, people, you will live just fine if you do 1 or 2 transactions. 1 or 2 purchases without using your goddamn credit card, alright? You'll live. And I actually have people fight me over it. I actually have people argue with me over it. Like when I say we don't take credit card, they actually argue with me. And hell, some people even go so far as to only have credit card with them. They don't even carry cash. They don't even carry their debit card. Credit card or nothing. Like, I have a lot of people say, you take card, right? And then when we say debit card, it's like, oh no, I only have credit card with me. That's it. It's like, well, we have no choice but to take it then. I really can't stand that. See, I get it. I get it. I use a credit card too. Honestly, I don't really care too much about building that credit. But, you know, if the opportunity comes up for me to use my credit card to build said credit, then sure, I'll use my card. But if the business doesn't take it, then I just won't argue. I just won't pay with that. It's like, oh, no credit card? Okay, I'll pay with my debit. Or if I have cash on me, I'll pay with cash. It's like a little while ago when my sister wasn't feeling well, and I think it was a holiday, so Shoppers Drug Mart was closed. I had to go to this convenience store. The Tylenol there was 10 bucks. I asked him, do you take credit card? The guy said no. I didn't argue with it. I didn't argue with him. I just didn't pay with credit card. I just paid with my debit card. What's the big deal? I didn't argue with him like, no, I'm using my goddamn credit card, and that's fine. No, I didn't argue with him. Anyways, where am I going? I need to head to... I am at the complete wrong side. I need to be that direction. I need to be on the west side of Hyrule Castle. Oh, I even dodged, too. Oh my god. You know what? I feel like it'd be faster for me to just leave the area and come back. And you know what? To make things worse, that guy who, you know, blamed me for the card machine taking his payment. To make things worse, the guy was brown. You might be asking what's wrong with that. Well, I can't help but notice a certain trend, a certain habit with people of a particular background, a particular pigmentation. I'm not trying to sound offensive, but if you up here in Canada, you see just how bad it is. I've noticed that brown people are particularly cheap and insistent. I don't know if he was Indian or not. He may have been, he may not have been. It's kind of hard to tell. He did have an accent, though. It wasn't a heavy accent. You know, it wasn't as heavy as an accent like this, but there was still an accent. There was still a hint of an accent there. Regardless if he was Indian or not, at this point, they kind of all are grouped up like that together. Now, don't give me that look. Don't you go and try to tell me that's offensive. People group Asians all the time. You know, whether it be Japanese, Taiwanese, Korean, we all Chinese to them, alright? I don't want to hear none of that. So yeah, to make things worse, the dude was brown, and I could not help but notice that brown people are particularly cheap. And I thought Asians were cheap. You know, I saw some clips online, particularly Instagram. I saw two clips in general, in particular. One clip with this guy filming a parking lot. And he sees the parking lot filled with trash. Absolutely disgusting. Garbage, trash, litter everywhere. And it was like a party. Like some sort of like brown culture party, for lack of better terms. And he's just like, look at this place. It's disgusting. We don't mind you celebrating your culture, but at least clean up after yourself. And, you know what? I can speak on behalf of that, because I've been to an Indian wedding, and I've seen firsthand, they really do party in the parking lot. They really do. Now, granted, the one I attended, there weren't a lot of stuff during the parking lot portion. Like, there wasn't food, there wasn't drinks, it was just dancing. So there wasn't a lot of garbage in the parking lot remaining. But yeah, they really do party in the parking lots. And then I saw another clip on Instagram. It was this brown guy. I believe he was from the UK, because he was saying like, what did you Indian people do in Canada? Like, the Canadians hate you guys, and Canadians are some of the nicest people out there. You know you messed up when you've even made the Canadians hate you. The guy continues to say, as an Indian, I think that's what he said, up here in the UK, people love us. People respect and appreciate and are okay with our culture being here. But y'all in Canada, I don't know what you guys are doing. And you know what? I kind of can't disagree. And you know what? That really made me think, yeah, Canadians are pretty nice, but when you even pissed us off, you know you've done something wrong. Look, I'm sure you guys have seen all of the Indian memes about Canada, and I can tell you firsthand, yeah, there'll be a lot of Indians here in Canada now. I remember growing up, the joke was, why are there so many Chinese people here? You know? Canada, when I was growing up, it used to be, why are there so many Chinese people here? There's so many Asians here now. And now, it's shifted from Asians to Indians. Anyways, getting back on topic. Oh my god, I tried to open the door and get through. So, what was the point of me telling you both of these stories? Moral of the story is, number one, carry cash with you, just in case. Even if it's a little bit, just carry some cash with you. And number two, I hate the obsession people have. Why am I jumping off here? I hate the obsession people have with credit cards. Because like I said, people act like it's life or death if they are able to use their beloved credit cards or not. They will actively fight you if you deny them the access, the ability, the privilege of using a credit card. All for that goddamn credit. It's like, I'm fine with periodically taking credit card payments. However, you know, to maximize profits, I would rather people pay... Well, actually, I would rather people pay with cash, but nobody carries cash anymore, evident by my friends. So, the next best thing is debit card, but people are hell-bent on not using it. To the point they will argue with you, they will yell at you, hell, they'll even blame you and say you're wrong when they get denied using their credit cards. Where am I going? I think I'm at the wrong spot. After all these years, I still get lost at Hyrule Castle. Like, I really can't stand it. My friends are particular... I don't want to say victims of this. They, too, obsessively only use credit cards. I think I went the wrong way. Hey, where'd the keys parts go? Oh, there they are. Those sunk pretty deep. Like, they straight up tell me, as their argument, that they don't want to carry cash because it's inconvenient. Because they don't want to carry coins with them, the spare change. And to that I say, no, it's not. One of my friends even said, like, he doesn't want to sound like... What'd he say? He said he didn't want to sound like something. Like a Christmas tree every time he walks by because of the coins jingling in his pants. And I'm just like, you know very well that is not your top concern. That is not your #1 concern on why you do not carry coins with you. You know very well that is not the top reason. Don't even try to make an argument, like trying to come up with a reason you don't want to. And I told him the honest truth. I am being 100% honest with this. A lot of times when I have spare change in my pockets, I don't take them out of my pants. You know why? Because it's not that big of an inconvenience. I have a couple of coins in my pocket. It's not an inconvenience for me to carry them around all day. And you know what? Sometimes they do come in handy. Because say sometimes I'm buying food, I hand them cash. They go like, do you by chance have 15 cents on you? If not, then, you know, you're going to get a whole handful of change, of coins. And then I think to myself, ooh, I have a bunch of coins in my pocket. Maybe I do have 15 cents. So I reach into my pocket and I check. If not, oh well, guess I'm getting change. It do come in handy sometimes. Honestly, it is no inconvenience whatsoever carrying coins with you. You know, one of my friends even has an entire dedicated separate pouch he carries for coins. I'm pretty sure this is not where I'm supposed to go. Actually, I think it might be... we're close. Why did I turn that way? So, my friends are die-hard... This looks like a bombable wall. I guess not. Unless I just set it down next to it. Okay, I guess not. Because that looks bombable too. But yeah, My friends, they are diehard card users, and in fact, they are diehard credit card only users. And I tell them all the time, just carry a little bit of cash with you in case, and they refuse. And you know, I keep trying to argue with them, I keep trying to tell them, like, you know, these things happen to me, this is why you carry cash with you in case. Say the card machine stops working abruptly for whatever reason, or the business just doesn't take credit card payment. They don't take card payment to begin with, they only take cash. But they refuse to listen. They always go like, if they don't take card payment, I just won't shop there. I'll just purchase from somewhere else. You know, I even have like some of the best defense on me, and you see how much damage he's doing? Okay, let's see. Where do I need to go? There it is. So if you can see on the map, it's kind of hard to tell. You know, and to that, my argument is like, what about restaurants? A lot of restaurants, they don't take credit card payment. They take cash or debit. And then my friends try to argue, well, we just won't eat there. We just won't eat at those restaurants. And to that I say, well, how would you know? How would you know if they take credit card or not? You know? Usually, after you've eaten, you ask for the bill, you ask, do you take credit card, and then they tell you. Test of the Royal Guard. Strike down the giant foe to become recognized as a Knight of the Kingdom. I like that they have this thing trapped down here as a training dummy. Anyways, I'm gonna make a little bit of shield space. Why do I have this? I'm gonna make some shield space because this is the Hylian shield. Does it always come with durability up plus? I'm not too sure if it does. Maybe it does. Alright, so you can take a look at where the map is. Where we are on the map. So how exactly am I supposed to stamp this? Because I can't during being inside the castle. Well, I have deduced over the years of playing this game that the best place to stamp this on the map, if you're doing what I'm doing, would be right here. Right about where the lockup is. Like right at the tip of this, if I can... Yeah. Sure, good enough. And that is all the Stalnox. Let's... what do I do now? You know what, let's go rest. Because... Whoops. So, yeah, I can't stand the obsession people have with credit cards. Now, like I say, I use credit cards too, you know? I don't want to say I'm a hypocrite because I'm not obsessed with using it. If I can use it, then great. If I can't, then I just simply won't. It's not a big deal. I won't argue with the staff to the point... I won't argue with them on why they should let me use it. I won't get angry or offended if I'm denied using it. I just won't use it. I'll pay a different way. It's not a big deal. People act like I have genuinely said something to offend them if I say, please don't use a credit card. And also, I also cannot stand the argument that people have, them trying to reason why they don't carry cash with them. I'm going to put this up, as I always do, because I don't think you get a second one in the game. Even if you do, you don't get any more. I just want to double check. You know what? That doesn't really help. Okay. So I guess now we're gonna move on to the next mini bosses, which is Taluses. There are also 40 Taluses in the game. So, first one is, yeah, Great Plateau. Great Plateau. Over here. Whole dedicated open space for it. Yeah, I can't stand the argument that people have. They just simply don't want to carry cash with them because it's so inconvenient. Having pocket change with you, having coins, it's such a hassle. It's so inconvenient. It's easier to just have cards with you. It's easier to just tap. Don't even get me started on tapping, too. Like, it's not inconvenient at all. It's not inconvenient, period. You just carry a $20 bill with you, and that's it. It's not inconvenient, you lazy shits. It really isn't. I almost landed on the wrong rock. It's this one. Oh, crap. More this way. There we go. And for Taluses, I use a shield. Now, yes, I know using this probably make more sense, but my train of thinking is, for rocks, I like to use it with rock deposits that I find, because it makes more sense that way than the other way. Like, if I see... Like, if I signify this as a talus, then a shield as a rock deposit doesn't really make much sense. And besides, I like to think that taluses have more defense than Hinoxes do, thus a shield. I mean, technically that's true. Everywhere else is much more defensive, much more hard, takes less damage. Except for this one weak spot. Alright, next talus. That was quick, because that was one of the first ones you face in the whole game. Next one, Daya Village Ruins. Where was that again? Here. Ah! So, I'm going to continue doing what I do, that is, carry everything with me just in case. Cash, debit, credit card. And I'm not going to go the lazy route of putting it on my phone, you know? It's like, oh, it's so easy, it's so convenient. My payments are on my phone. No. No, I'm not doing that. Honestly, what is the big hassle? Why is it so difficult now to simply pull out your wallet, pull out your card, and pay there? Pay like that. For God's sake, we even have taps now. So why is it so much harder for us to carry both separately instead of just having the payments on our phone as well. So I'm going to continue to carry even just a little bit of cash on me, just in case this ever happens again, where the card machine stops working. And unless I pay with cash, oh, too bad, guess you're not purchasing it. Guess you gotta go somewhere else, or even come back a different day. Or you gotta waste your time and wait until we fix the card machine. Nah, if I have goddamn cash, then none of that. None of that noise. And you know what, while we're on the topic, I've gone over this so many times before. I also can't stand tapping cards. Is it convenient? Yes. But there lies the problem as well. Link, please stop. Please stop. You gotta love this game sometimes, right? Tapping has become too convenient, and that's the problem. People are idiots, and when a dumbass like me says that, then you know we're screwed as a species. It's kind of like, you know, people who say they don't want to carry cash because it's too inconvenient. They're too scared they're gonna lose it. For God's sake, I'm the laziest, most clumsy person I know, and even I carry cash. What's your excuse, huh? I almost grabbed the wrong apple. So, I also can't stand tapping with cards. Either debit card or credit card. I can't stand it. Small transactions is fine, but I have idiots all the time try to tap with huge purchases. Like $300, $500. I had someone today try to tap, what was it, like $1,800, $1,800. A person tried to tap that. People just don't realize, you know, tapping is limited to like $200. Dumbass trying to tap for over $1,000. $300, $500, $800. People be still trying to tap because it's so inconvenient to insert the damn card into the machine and put in your PIN. I also have that a lot happen too. People just don't remember their PIN. And they quote-unquote say because they don't use... Like, they just tap all the time now. I'll be honest, I don't really remember my PIN either, but it's not because I tap all the time. It's because I don't do a lot of purchases. I don't do a lot of huge purchases where I do have to insert. Like, people tap to the point they forget their freaking PIN, and it's like, I feel like that's something important for you to remember. Now, of course I know my PIN, alright? Stop calling me a hypocrite for not knowing my own PIN. Of course I know my PIN. Like, I can't stand the fact that people are idiots to the point they don't realize they can't tap over $200. And that they forget their PIN whenever they do a huge purchase that requires insertion and PIN typing as well. I really don't like the direction this world is going in. I can't stand it. I can't stand people like this. That's why I absolutely hate credit cards and what they have done. Isn't it stupid? Don't you just think this is backwards? This is bass-ackwards? The fact that people are obsessed with using credit cards and, you know, card machines card machine companies, they set it to where there's a bigger fee on the business if that is being used, which is why debit card is preferred. But nobody likes using debit card. Don't you think that's just backwards? If the credit card companies simply did the opposite, wouldn't this just be... wouldn't world peace be one step closer, don't you think? Say, if credit card companies, instead of debit cards being cheaper to use than credit cards, imagine if credit card companies... Wait, what? If card machine companies made it to where credit cards were cheaper to use than debit cards, there wouldn't be this sort of issue. Don't you think this is just backwards? If card machine companies simply just made credit cards cheaper to use than debit cards, we wouldn't have an issue here. But that's just not the case, which is absolutely idiotic. This world is so flawed on so many levels. It runs so deep. Anyway, there's my rant about 2 things that happened recently, and why I carry cash on me just in case, why I recommend you carry a little bit of cash with you just in case, and also stop being so obsessed with credit cards. Like, it's absolute insanity, the level of obsession people have with this. And this is a goddamn credit card. I'm not even talking about drugs. I will continue with my life, you know, and I will reap the benefits of my mentality. However, you would think that just minding my own business would be fine. But the issue here is I gotta deal with this bullshit myself. I gotta deal with other people with this sort of poison in their mind. I gotta deal with others as they're doing their payments, and I gotta deal with them arguing to me on why I should let them use their credit cards. I'm gonna save just in case, cause in case I mess this up. Let me go a little bit further. Maybe I can fly down to it. And you know, all I'm trying to do is help. All I'm trying to do is... well, yeah, all I'm trying to do is help. In case something happens, in case of whatever, if you're not able to use your cards, then at least you'll still have cash as a backup, right? It's like, is that so wrong of me to suggest? I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to spare anyone out there from having to inconvenient themselves, I guess. Like, if you don't have cash, and then for whatever reason, then you either cannot purchase what you went out of your way to purchase, or you gotta come back a different day, right? It's like, all I'm trying to do is help. And we already know that people in this world don't like the truth. You know, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, right? It's better to have the cash and not need it than to need the cash and not have it, right? whatever, you people do what you people do, and I'm just gonna stick to what I believe. I swear, one of these days, I'm gonna go shopping with some of my friends. There's gonna be a place that sells something that they really want, but they only take cash. They're gonna ask me, like, hey, you have cash on you. I know you do. You always yell at us for not having cash. Yo, you got cash. This place only takes cash. Can you buy it for me and then I pay you back? I'm just gonna be like, no. Hell no. I've been telling you all this time to carry cash on you just in case this particular situation ever comes up. No, you're gonna learn from this. As I've been teaching you. I ain't gonna buy you shit. Talk to me about some. You're just not gonna purchase from a place that won't take your credit card payment. Well, this is exactly what I warned you about. You either don't get what you want, or now, exactly what you said you would do, you're gonna go somewhere else where they will take that payment, alright? So do it. Go somewhere else now. Leave this place that already has what you want. Oh my god, this is why Taluses are annoying. So do exactly what you preached. Leave this place, go somewhere else that has the same item that you want, despite it being right here in front of you, and purchase it there. Go on, I'm waiting. What are you still doing here? Go on, skedaddle. That's gonna happen someday. Then again, who knows? We are approaching a more technological future, so maybe one day cash really will be extinct. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just the old-timer here, clinging on to the old ways, the ancient ways, the prehistoric ways. Ain't exactly a quick way to get to there. I think that'll probably be the last Talus I do, and then I'll save the rest for next time. I would record more, but, man, I got some shows I want to watch. Just before starting this, I watched the very first episode of It, Welcome to Derry, and I tell you, it was good. It was really good, just as the first episode. Actually, hold on. Place like that, why don't I jump from one of these? Oh yeah, today we also got our very first snowfall, so that's good. Snowed for the very first time today, despite it being literally just a third into November. But, you know, that's good. That's good. Past couple of years, we would not have gotten snow until past December, maybe even New Year's. So instead of a white Christmas, it would be a dry, gray Christmas. So the fact that it snowed so early this time, this is even worse. The fact that it snowed so early this year is a very good sign. I mean, the forecast does say that a couple days from now it's going to rain, so all the snow will melt anyways, but still, the fact that it snowed this early, to me, is a great sign. Because I've been saying for years, the fact that up here in Canada, it doesn't snow in December, and I think I've seen even one time it snowed in, like, I forget which month, maybe like May. It's like, eesh. These are all pretty bad signs that yada 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 global warming, we messing up our planet. It's like, can you blame me for feeling that way? If even up here in Canada, it doesn't snow in December. So that's why I feel like this year, snowing this early in November, that's a very good sign. And besides, I like the cold. I prefer the cold to the heat. You know this. Ah, there's a treasure chest here. I kind of want to see what's in it. Alright, any other guards? No. So I just silently take you out. Aw, that woke them. I thought that was supposed to be stealthy. Fine, come and get some. I tried to do a flurry rush there. There was really no need for a flurry rush there, but whatever. Okay, now I can focus on you, big boy. I wanted to put on my attack up, my barbarian outfit, and then sneak strike this guy while he was sleeping. That was my plan. Alright, let's see what's in that chest. Wow. All that for that, huh? How much further is it? It's a okay distance. Question is, which rock is it? Pretty sure it's this one right here. Man, the ones with the rocks on their backs is so annoying. What? See? It's 3 a.m. in Hyrule. Residents are asleep, and they have no idea Link is out here fighting this thing in the middle of the wilderness. Hurry up before this thing starts healing. Because these bosses heal fast. Man. Ah! The ones on the back are so annoying. My God! I'm about to finish this guy off with arrows, I swear to God. Seriously? It pisses me off too. It's like sometimes the bombs don't work. Thank you. Alright. I'll see you guys next time.